you know, not just from this project, but for other things that they're doing or that you've recognized them doing in the past. And there's one gentleman I want to actually bring up this evening to, kind of just share. I'm gonna let him just take the reins at that point, and just say whatever he feels he wants to share with us. But I've seen this gentleman. We've never had the privilege of speaking until recently. We've communicated, via chat a few times in the past, but I just kept seeing him come back. Didn't hear much, but he has a YouTube channel that a lot of us may not necessarily be aware of, where he's been advocating for this project in a very big way. And without further ado, I just want to bring up a gentleman by the name of Gerald Smith. Many of you in the crypto space may be familiar with the YouTube channel Bank of Gerald, but I want to formally introduce him as a committed member of the MoveQuest community. And, I can kind of tell just by following him in different projects that he's been associated with, how he's really gravitated to the scope and breadth of what the MoveQuest project actually is. So without further ado, Mr. Gerald Smith, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well, Herschel. I'm doing well, Hayden. I'm doing well, Lynette, and MoveQuest community. I'm doing well. How are you doing, man?
Great, great, great. I've noticed, like I said, you've been in and around the MoveQuest community for since the beginning of the Avalanche blockchain.
Sure.
I just kind of wanted to get your feedback of, your vibe, your feel, your testimony, your results, your outlook on the
Yeah.
project. Go for it.
Well, thank you for the introduction. My name is Gerald Smith. I go by Bank of Gerald on YouTube. I've been in the YouTube space for about 5 years now, the start of the pandemic. We had come across some crypto projects that really were the first of its kind that I had seen. Now, as we grew through the years, we found out most of those things were scams and schemes and different things like that. I'm sure a lot of you were a part of some of the ones that were notable, along with myself. We were just kind of trying to find a way, right? With crypto not having a whole lot of regulation here in the United States, it was hard to find things and then have protections for things and make people feel comfortable about being in this space. So after a whole lot of failures and a whole lot of projects that have come and go, MoveQuest came along to my desk. Quentin Bradford, you guys may know him as Crypto Pays Me Daily. He brought this to me amongst many other projects, and it came around a time in my life where I was looking for something like this. Was going through a weight loss journey of my own prior to MoveQuest for my own reasons. I was trying to get my own personal physical body together. My outside of YouTube life is pretty active, and I was finding myself a little out of shape. So one of the things that brought MoveQuest so much, it was just a breath of fresh air to me, was first of all, the leadership and the people that were involved. Lynette has been at the forefront. Shout out to you, Lynette. She's been at the forefront of this since the beginning. And hearing that the Get Fit mining opportunity was around for 3 or 4 years at that time, just kind of building momentum and getting everything to where it can be where it is right now. I was like, okay, so if we have the opportunity to use our physical, like our actual bodies, right, as a miner, right? And I've always thought about these different miners like Bitcoin miners and how almost they're unattainable at this point. Any Bitcoin miner that was mining any significant amount of Bitcoin needs a lot of space, a lot of energy, a lot of stuff that I just can't fit in my apartment, my room, whatever. But this physical body can do a lot, and I don't take it for granted. So when this came around, I was like, okay, I can use this to build my cryptocurrency bag, but I can also use this to continue to push past the plateau that is trying to get back in shape. So when August rolled around, I saw it launch. I didn't get in just yet. I just kind of waited to see. It looked like it was a little bit of a learning curve. I had to use MetaMask a little bit more. Avalanche was not a coin or token that I even had. So I had to learn a little bit. But I said to myself, if I can learn just a little bit of things that I need to learn for this learning curve in MoveQuest, I really believe that not only it can continue the changes that I'm already making in my life, it can further them, but I can really take this thing and share it with others, and it can really change their lives as well. A little bit of personal background of mine. My family, while I may live in the DMV, my family is from the Deep South. So the stigma has been places like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. The levels of obesity are really high. And I've known that, my family has battled with cholesterol and all different type of stuff. And when I heard the mission was to move us past this sedentary lifestyle that we have been so accustomed to, sitting in our desk chairs and, taking long drives, it's just not as advantageous to an active lifestyle. So all of that stuff being said, I wanted to be more active. I wanted to change my financial life. I wanted to be a part of cryptocurrency and a cryptocurrency project that felt to me would not fail us, because we had been a part of so much stuff that felt so good, but just didn't even give us half of what MoveQuest was giving us right off the bat. We're talking about blockchain validity. We were talking about being on different exchanges and different things of that nature at that time. So I got in, I got as many miners as I could, and I just started learning about what the process was going to be to start mining MQT. And honestly, the rest has been history. We've just kind of seen this thing grow. We've had some points where we were waiting on some things, of course, and that's one thing that I always do on my channel. I try to keep it real, and I try to keep it from a sense of what the regular person may be feeling like. I don't see myself as the ultra what's the influencer or anything like that. I see myself as a regular guy just trying to make it, a regular family guy, supporting my parents and supporting my son and trying to keep everything together, just like a lot of you guys probably are. So MoveQuest came to my life at the perfect time, and I've been talking about it on YouTube amongst other things, because y'all know those that know me, I'm involved in a lot of stuff. But MoveQuest I've deemed as my favorite opportunity. I think it is the most life-changing opportunity that there is out there. And I'm not just speaking about what it can do for your pockets. I'm not just speaking about that fiscal life change. I'm talking about a real physical life change. For those of you that have been watching me, and for those of you that may not, I've lost 50 pounds, right? That alone for me was a great thing to talk about. Like, you guys see the differences that I've made when I go to my church and the different avenues that I'm in. They're looking at me like, yo, Gerald, you're a different person. But I'll bring this to the forefront, and I'll kind of digress, because I can talk forever, y'all. It's not always about just getting to that point. It's staying at that point, right? When you've done the work to get to that place where you're feeling good about your body and you're doing the movement, MoveQuest allowed me to continue to stay on that path, because I'm obviously motivated to mine MQT on a day-to-day basis. I wanted the most powerful miners. I wanted as many docking slots as I could available, open to plug stuff in them as I could. Didn't matter if it was the Trailblazer, the Vanguard, or the Titan. All right. And then eventually I had a goal to tighten up, right? I wanted all my docking slots filled with Titans. And it was a cool thing to be able to say on my YouTube channel that I officially have all 18 of my docking slots filled with Titans. And that was such a big deal to me. So I say all that to say, MoveQuest got me to a place where I could feel good about my body, right? It kept me at that place where I could stay feeling good about my body, because it motivated me to just keep on moving. And then, of course, I'll share this one last story. When I saw the price of MQT go to like $100, in my mind, I honestly thought for a second I missed the boat. And I'm sure a lot of you may have thought the same thing. Oh, man, I missed it. I missed the big rise. But then you got to pay attention to what all the other cryptocurrencies I've done. And you can just use Bitcoin as an example. As long as it stays around, the opportunity is always going to stay there. So as I look at it, it is at its current price. I'm reinvigorated. I'm re-excited, just like I was back in August of 2024 when I saw this for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, don't lose the excitement that you have about this project. It is the most legit project we have probably ever seen, and has the most life-changing potential that we've probably ever seen. So I want to leave you with that. And I also want to say, while we're looking at the price possibly being at a place where we're not too happy about it, I want you to try to put a smile on your face and borrow some of the belief that we have. Borrow some of Hayden's belief, borrow some of Herschel's belief, and watch this thing just go parabolic. All we need is a community that's willing to put themselves at the forefront, be the change that people want to see, and then help people along as they start this learning curve of learning cryptocurrency. And I truly believe that we have the most life-changing opportunity in our hands right now. And with that, I'm just excited. I'm ready to hear this call.
Man, that's two mic drops in 24 minutes. I mean, come on now. I mean, Mr. Smith, we definitely glad to have you as part of the MoveQuest community. And I know that there are other people out there listening right now, just like you, that have been here, that's been seeing what's going on. There's been people that have come. There have been people those same people come and they go. They project that they leave and go to, they gone there. Then they come back. One thing about a project in the crypto space, like you just mentioned, it's still here. A lot is being built. The foundation is being laid for long-term sustainability. And that's what I really like about what we have here with MoveQuest. Once again, I want to thank you for sharing with the community this evening, and we look forward to seeing and hearing a lot more from you as time goes on.
Thank you for having me, and you have my word.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead. Miss Lynette, I know you're here, you're listening.